comes about?
Um, I think it comes about by, kind of living out the life of a poet, going to readings, sharing your work. For me, that's a huge learning experience. I just went to an open mic last night and read some poems and left feeling like, wow, that was kind of depressing. Like I don't want to write depressing poetry anymore. I want to kind of break out of that and do something that's a little bit more uplifting, something that people can feel good about.
Yeah.
Um, so that's a huge uh, pathway to growth. I feel like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of poets out there, contemporary poets that are experimenting with humor and, you know, repetition to the point of absurdity and just like really breaking down the rhetorical structures of language to create new meanings. And that's really exciting to me. I just don't know how to access that. I feel like I have to write the depressing, kind of sad stuff before I can, take the risk, So I feel like that growth is something that comes about once you have gone through certain stages, you know?
Hmm.
So do you feel
Yeah,
like that's kind of what you're going through or something that's true for you?
absolutely. Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. It's definitely a process. I think last night after that experience, I went home and wrote a poem about exactly what we're talking about. I think that this poem that I wrote kind of is it's really funny. It kind of is a step by step laying out of the process that you go through as a poet. You know, you begin by not knowing anything, making mistakes, fucking up terribly, returning to what you thought you knew, writing the sappy poem, writing the depressing poem, writing the angry poem. You have to do all those things before you can write something that's true, to yourself. Uh, so that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I think also just talking about writing has helped me feel like I'm normal, because I think that writing is this deeply personal thing. If you're not talking about it, then it's too easy to get into the same rut and make the same mistakes all the time. But if you have a community who's just like, yeah, I just don't have any new ideas, or, it just helps to kind of put it out there, I feel. And, you know, we're trying to expand our community of writers here at the University of Houston to anyone who wants to come to the conference. So we were very happy to see University of Tampa people at our conference. Like we were just thrilled. So I'm so glad
Yeah,
you came.
thanks.
What is the worst advice you have ever had as a poet? Like, what is the worst advice anyone has given you? And it should probably be someone that you respect, like a professor, because that's usually the most disappointing bad advice.
Oh man, I'm sure I've gotten some pretty terrible advice, but the one that jumps out to me right now is, and I've had more than one professor actually that I like tell me this, that uh, a good disciplined poet will sit down and force themselves to write every single day, right? We hear that all the time, and for me, that's just not the case at all. Over the summer after Boldface, I was kind of like poetried out and took a good month and a half off from writing poetry and just relaxed and had fun, And I feel like, at least for me, like I have to just live life for a while and not be reflective and just do things, so that I have something to write about, right? If
Yeah.
we're not living, life, what do we have to say about it? Uh, so,
Yeah, I think that's really true. Like, I just don't feel like your body can do it. Like, if you just sit down to write every day, I just feel like you just run out of the energy, and you just run out of a lot of things that help bring that that thing out, that intangible.
Builds up a pressure, I feel like, too, students, friends of mine will be like, oh, I have writer's block. I just can't write. And it's like, well, good. Just stop then. Go for a walk,
Yeah.
go to the beach, do something fun. Like, stop stressing over it. You're a writer, that's what you do. You do it for a reason. Like, you love it, and it'll come back to you. Don't stress yourself out over it too much.
Yeah. I think I had like a 5-year period of writer's block where everything I wrote came out just not right. And it was okay to give up for a while. And now that I'm back, I just feel like, you know, it's like I fed it with reading, and I think that that's important too,
Yeah.
because you're exercising the muscle without, really like putting it out there,
Yeah.
So, so what's the best advice you've gotten?